Without having a struggle in life, how will you ever know when to push even harder to succeed? What's up, everybody? This is Tyler Lamb here, and I wanted to shoot this video just to kind of give a little background on myself and kind of go into my story and kind of talk about how I got involved in the industry and how I got involved with marketing. But a little bit of background story. Back when I was growing up, when I was in high school, I was always one of the people that I was always told that you're a real smart kid. You got a lot of intelligence, but I was just lazy. I didn't make the greatest grades in school. I usually had, I had A's and B's, but I had a lot of C's in school, the occasional D. So I was always told, you're real intelligent, but you don't apply yourself like you should. And I didn't. I was lazy, so I didn't really have the greatest grades. I didn't really aspire to go to college like that because there really wasn't anything that I cared to do career-wise or job-wise. There wasn't anything that I was like, one day I want to be this, one day I want to be that. So I never really had anything that I cared to work towards, and I just kind of felt like I wasn't going to be one of those people that had like the normal job or whatever. I didn't know what I was going to be destined to do, but I just kind of felt like there'd be something different for me other than what is the norm. And then so fast forward, I graduate. I went to college for 2 semesters, but I ended up dropping out about midway of my second semester. I just got real lazy with it. My first semester was good, everything was straight until the very end. I got sick. I got real bad stomach virus. And so my grades were excellent the whole way through, but then I got sick. I missed a couple of finals and it dropped some of my grades down to a C. And I think one of my grades to a D when I had A's and B's the whole time. So that kind of like took all the wind out of my sails going into the next semester. I was just kind of done with it. I wasn't really taking a lot of classes to begin with, but once I got into that semester, I was like, whatever. So I was slacking. I wasn't doing any work, and ended up just dropping all my classes in the middle of the semester. So I was done with that. And at that time, I was actually working at a martial arts school. See, I was actually taking martial arts since I was about 6 or 7 years old. I started training martial arts, taking karate. And when I was about 17 years old, like a junior in high school or a senior, one of the two, I started working at the karate school where I had trained for so long. And even after I dropped out of college, I worked there for the longest time. And for a while, it seemed like that would kind of be like what I would do the rest of my life. My instructor talked to me about certain things that I could be doing this long term. And for a while, I kind of thought that was what it was going to be. But eventually, I just kind of felt like I wasn't kind of growing the way I wanted to. And even though the job that I was doing was things that I loved to do, I loved what I did. I loved teaching. I loved interacting with different people, adults and young children. I taught as young as 3 years old all the way up to people well into their 60s and their 70s. I taught a whole range of students. So I loved what I did, and I loved that atmosphere. But as far as working there for like a career-wise or the rest of my life, I just didn't kind of see it in me. I don't know what it was. I just felt like I wasn't growing or going where I wanted to go. So I decided to go and join the police department. Now, why did I want to join the police department? Well, I never really cared to be a cop. It was more about the fact that the police department, I was going to make a salary. I had never made a salary before, and the salary was going to be more than I had ever thought to make before, which was like $36,500 a year. When you look back at it now, it's like, that's not really that much. But at the time, I was like, wow, I've never made that much, and it just seemed like I was making bank. But I was in the police academy for about 4.5 months. I only had like about a month and a half left before I would have graduated the academy and become a certified police officer. And I decided to leave because I was just kind of fed up with that environment and really the city that the police department was located in, the city, one of the local cities that I live in. I just didn't really care for the city, but I really didn't care for the environment of working there either. So I left that, and I ended up going to work for Dish Network. I worked for Dish Network as a they call them field service specialists, and basically that just means that you're like the tech. You're the one that goes out, you do the installs at people's homes, as well as service when people have problems with their satellite TV. So I was there for about a year and a half, and until I was let go this past November 2012. So I've kind of been bounced around. I never held a job for more than the 4.5 years I worked as an instructor at the karate school. So that was kind of my background then. You can kind of see that I really didn't have any kind of direction of where I wanted to go. Well, in about 2008 or so, I believe, back when I was still working at the karate school, I got introduced to network marketing and internet marketing, but I was only 19 at the time, and I didn't kind of really take it seriously. I loved the idea, I loved the potential behind it, but I didn't take it too seriously. I kind of dabbled in a little bit for a few months, but then I was done after that. But then fast forward to 2011, I was in between working at the as a recruit in the police academy and going to my job at Dish Network. I was in between those two jobs, and I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I'll get back into that kind of network marketing, internet marketing thing, see if I can make a go of that. So I've been in it ever since then. But here's what the problem was. In the beginning, as we all do, I got stuck. And what did I get stuck on? There's so much information on the internet when it comes to marketing, network marketing or internet marketing. There's so much information. A lot of people, and this is what happened to me, a lot of people, you get stuck in like an information overload. You're trying to learn this method, you're trying to learn that method, you're trying to figure out how to do this, you're trying to figure out how to do that, and you get stuck. And you end up not doing anything. You're learning all these things, but you're not implementing any of it. So that's where I was stuck for the longest time. Then I finally kind of figured, you know what, I'm going to do this kind of strategy, I'm going to stick with it, and that's what I'm going to do. Well, I always kind of let my job and my laziness kind of get in the way. I used my job as an excuse for being lazy. Because truthfully, I worked long hours. I only had a 4-day work week. I worked 4 days on, 3 days off. But I worked so many hours those days. I would work usually about at least 50 hours a week every week. So every week I was working overtime, and it was that's just how the schedule worked. As a satellite installer, we went in at a certain time in the morning, and there was no set time that we were done. It was just whenever we got done with all our jobs for the day, and then basically when all the jobs are done for your office throughout the day, and whatever area you might have been in, you might have had to go help someone else out or had to get jobs added to you. So you didn't have a set time you were done. So you would basically work 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours a day, then somewhere around there, but you were always working a lot of hours a week. So I would always kind of let that get in the way. I'd be like, I get home late, and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired, I don't really feel like doing anything when it comes to working with my business online or anything like that. And I would say, well, you know what, I got 3 days off each week, I'll just use those days to do it. Well, then my first day off would come, and I wouldn't do anything because you're like, I know what, I just worked this long week, let me just relax for this day, and then I'll get back to it to the next 2 days. And it just would never happen because I would keep putting it off. So then fast forward to me getting let go this past November 2012, and that's when I was like, you know what, I've been dilly-dallying around with this the whole time. I've never given up on doing it, I just have never taken it as seriously as I needed to. And I was like, you know what, I got to start hitting this, I got to start grinding. But even at that point, I was still kind of fiddle-faddling around, and I was more serious than I was in the past. But even I wasn't serious as I could have been. And what happened, I started realizing, you know what, I need to work on my mindset. I need to work on my belief level. I need to start believing that I will have this type of success, or believe that I am this person to have this type of success. And I set my intentions at the beginning of this year, this 2013. I set my intentions, and I was like, you know what? These are my intentions. I'm going to do this out. I'm finally going to get here, and it's going to be a wrap. And so I started putting more effort into it. I started working more to it. But what really happened was in the last about a month or so, I got involved with the community. I got involved with the system where we all come together, and we've all been pushing each other and growing together, and we've got great leadership in the system that has started to kind of give us the tools mentally and what we need to do on a daily basis to kind of to grow finally. And for me, being the person that was kind of lazy and not being consistent every day, I needed that somewhat kind of structure to help. And it's really pushed me, and I've started to believe in things that I never believed I could do before in the past. And I have my mind is just stretched in my belief level and what I'm capable of doing right now. And it's all because of being part of a great community a great team that we all are kind of like a distant kind of family. We all have kind of like that tight knit atmosphere. We're always joking with one another, messing around, but we keep each other accountable on a regular basis, and that's the power of having a team. And I actually, there's so much power behind that. There was actually a video I had cut a few days ago, just on that alone, behind the power of being involved with a team and a community where everybody's going to push one another and grow together. And just with our community alone, there's been a ton of people that have come in and have started having success that they never had before. We just had one of my team members the other day. He made $1,500 in 2 days. The first time he's ever done that. He's never made that kind of money before. We had another team member that just came in yesterday. I think he made his first sale ever in our system, ever, once he got into our team and our community and the things that we provide. And then I had another team member that just today made her first sale in our system. So there's success stories happening all over the place, and it's just growing. We've just started. We have a private team Facebook group. We already have right around 1,000 people, and we're about to blow up. And it's all because of the leadership that we have in our community, the system and the training that we have implemented, and then the opportunity that we promote on the back end that just allows for such growth and with your income potential and things like that. So what I highly suggest for you is, if you're tired of not knowing what to do, or you're tired of not knowing the right strategies to implement, or you're just tired of not being consistent on a day-to-day basis because you know you have a hard time holding yourself accountable, I highly recommend what you do is, first off, you click the link somewhere around this. If you're watching this on YouTube or on another page, click the link to add me on Facebook. Send me a friend request so we can connect. We can get to know each other. But also, there's going to be a link that you can click to get more information on my team, our community, and the system that we have in place. And this is a system that we have that will allow and has allowed people to make up to $3,000 in a day before. And that's not an income guarantee or income claim or anything. That's just, if you put forth the action, if you first believe in yourself and believe in what you can achieve, and you have an utmost faith behind that, and then you implement the action behind it on a day-to-day basis, you have that ability to earn that kind of potential or that kind of income and more in a day if you just apply what our community puts together. We have a private team Facebook group. We have daily action assignments to keep one another accountable each day. And it's just an awesome team, an awesome community. So what I suggest you do is you add me on Facebook, but you click on that link below. It's going to give you some more information on our team, our community. Now, to get involved with us, it's going to tell you in the video what you need to do. You're going to need to pull out your credit card, and you're going to need to spend the $45 to get involved with the system that we promote that allows us to earn this income where we can be earning up to $3,000 in a day. Pull your credit card out, get involved with that, and then get with our system so you can finally have the success that you've been wanting to have this whole time instead of sitting on the sidelines. All right, I just had to get this whole story out. I had to shoot it, had to let you know what was going on with me. I hope it provided some type of insight to you, some type of value. Click on the link below, get involved with our team, so you can start getting to the places that you've never been able to get to before. I'll talk to y'all soon.